future, mankind has set its sights on the stars. In pursuit of resources, in pursuit of profit. The world of Sheer and the far arm of the galaxy had plenty of both. But let's be honest, we were never any good at sharing the planet. On November 3rd, bust out the heavy artillery. She's clever. She's creepy. But most of all, she's just one bad bitch. The Gorgon Cometh.
Hello everybody and welcome to a special edition of our regular Thursday live stream. I'm Chloe and joining me today is Dave Blank, DB Sinclair himself.
Hello, hello.
And we are super excited to be showing you guys cool new stuff today. A lot of you have seen the trailer. Even if you haven't seen it before, you saw it just now.
Yeah.
And hopefully loved it. We had a lot of fun putting it together for you guys, and we thought that it captured not only the spirit of the season, being Halloween, but also some of the personality of the elusive Gorgon monster. So we're going to be showing you guys some gameplay today. We're going to be talking about it. We have some special guests here. Dave, do you want to tell everybody who's joining us in the studio today?
Absolutely. Very excited, not just to show off the monster today, as you've all been waiting with bated breath in anticipation of this monster. We also have been.
Yes.
And so this has been a very big day for us leading up the past month. We've done the month of monsters, and we've done all that in preparation for today, where we can finally show you off the Gorgon, the gameplay, and a few other things that we have up our sleeves as well. So definitely don't go anywhere and keep watching. Today on the show, we have a good range of representatives from the community, from the forums to YouTube to Twitch. Today we have Mad Cow in the house. We also have Ghost Robo. We have Vern Notice, and of course Stealth Shampoo. So all over the spectrum of Evolve community. Of course, Ghost Robo killing it on the YouTube space, Nikki and Vern on Twitch, and Mad Cow is killing it everywhere with YouTube, Twitch, on the forums.
Yep.
He's a moderator. Some may say he's even a moderator. And so those are the four we have today. They are going to be playing the Monster Gorgon today for you guys. So not only are they, representing all these different spaces of the Evolve community? They're also avid fans and players of the game. So we hope you will enjoy their demonstration of this monster. That said, this is so new, even to these guys, of course, here. This is the first time they've ever seen and played this monster.
Yeah.
We gave them a little warm up leading up to the show today. But these are literally going to be like, their third or fourth game with this bad bitch.
Yeah, they showed up this morning, and they got a tour of the studio, and they got to see all of our fabulous Halloween decorations because we had a contest here to decorate your pod in a festive manner. So they got to see our zombie quarantine zone in the community department. But and then they had a sit down with Chris Ashton, and he kind of as someone who has played the monster the most, trying to balance her. She's his new favorite monster.
Nice.
And he loves her, so he was able to walk them through her abilities and then they got a little time with hands-on, and they've been warming up. But yeah, like Dave said, they're still kind of new to this, so be nice to them. They're I think just so excited to kind of be checking it out and see all of what she's capable of. So you guys will see some cool stuff. And we have Corey, otherwise known as Insane, starting on the monster. So he'll be showing off kind of what she can do, hopefully in a nice way, and doesn't totally disintegrate these hunter players. They are pretty good though, so maybe he shouldn't go too easy. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they definitely bring a good hunter team to this monster. But I love that Corey's actually kicking things off, because he's also another aspect of the community now with Turtle Rock. So he's spent his time in the trenches of Twitch and on the forums and everywhere else, and now getting to be a part of bringing this monster to you guys. So we're very excited about the monster. She will be dropping November 3rd, which is next Tuesday.
Important information.
Yeah, and we have all sorts of information scattered throughout so far. Of course, you just saw the trailer, and there's a lot of stuff going on this week. So
yeah, and if you're curious about what's going to be in that, there's a blog post about all of the accessibility changes, or there's information about it on the forums as well if you want to find those, or talk.turtlerockstudios.com, and Shane will probably be entertaining you guys in the chat and also linking that at regular intervals. So we are winding up into this game here, and we've got a pretty interesting lineup. I'm excited to see. We've got Ghost Robo on Kyra. That was all I saw.
Yeah, that was quick.
I saw Sunny. I didn't see who was on Sunny, and who was Trapper. It's Abe, maybe? I guess we'll see.
We'll see here.
We'll see in a second.
Yeah, so
but we
once
do have,
again...
sorry, I was just going to point out our colorblind loading screen showing off these new waypoint markers that we have, which are really cool. If you're interested in any of those details, you should definitely check out our stream from last week, where I sat down with Tara and we went into a lot of detail about all of the new UI elements that we put in there. Sorry, it is global, but it's related to colorblind. It's all coming in the same package, and the idea is accessibility. So it'll be there for everybody, but definitely trying to make it easier for people who maybe have trouble with our game. Some of the visual cues aren't as obvious, so always trying to streamline and make it better.
Yeah, and I noticed I got some time with Gorgon and with some other things that I won't mention now earlier. And I noticed that those colorblind icons and stuff were in there, and they're really cool.
Yeah.
They're very helpful, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy them being in the game, regardless if you need that colorblind help or not. And here she is, that bad bitch you guys have been waiting for. This is the Gorgon. Can we see Dan's game in the chat? Bad bitches sound off. That one's for Cash Bryant. Bad bitches sound off in the chat with Dan's game. I want to see it as we show our first ever gameplay of the Gorgon.
Yeah, it's just, this is showing off her traversal, which, all the monsters have very distinct, different traversal styles. So hers is kind of it's a web grab sling, and she, pulls herself to it across the map. It's not flight. It's more Spider-Man-esque.
Yes.
And then you saw her spitting some acid out there as well.
Yeah, the traversal has been a very big question from you guys. I've been seeing that a lot. How does she get around? As you can see, she uses it, like Chloe said, almost like a Spider-Man. But then there's the difference with this traversal compared to the others, is that she is able to mark a spot on available areas. Obviously, you can't go all the way to the top of the pillar, as we know with the rest of the monsters, they can't get up there either. But just high enough here to where she can cling on the edge and potentially drop some of these other abilities down on the hunters.
Yeah, so she wasn't full armor there, so she was like, all right, I'm going to get up there and I'm going to wait. And you can actually shoot your abilities from that perch up there. So you can drop acid, you can throw out these spider traps. You saw one of those come out. Those get put on the ground. They're kind of like, it's almost like you're dropping plants. Yeah. Right? And then as the hunters come along, they pop out of the ground and will run towards the nearest hunter, grab them, and drag them away at speed. Which, the first time it happens to you guys is going to be really disorienting. It's like the first time you got tongue grabbed by a behemoth and you were like, what the hell is going on? My character is flying.
Yeah, or like that first plant you dropped into, but it moves after and runs away from your teammates.
So if you thought plants were rough.
The kit he has right now is he's got the web that he can shoot out on the left bumper, you can see there. This is going to slow down the hunters. It's also going to do a little damage over time, I believe. And it's going to disorient them. And then, of course, the spider trap and the acid spit right now is the kit he's going. He uses the traversal there to get over. As you can see, the Gorgon here, she can get from point A to point B very quickly when she wants to get these hunters in a place that's more advantageous for her to fight.
Yeah, no, she's...
Oh, look at the jack counter to that.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Very nicely done. They've clearly been paying attention so far this morning. But the acid spit not only does damage as it comes out, it also leaves an acid pool on the ground that will do damage over time. So you want to, like with Behemoth's lava bombs, you don't want to stand in that.
No, and you can combo it as the Gorgon really well.
Yeah.
If you throw a spider trap down and it catches a hunter, and then you drop that acid spit right there, if the spider doesn't run out of it, it's also going to do that acid damage as well, which is really
with
cool.
the web snare as well, because it doesn't completely immobilize the hunters, but it will slow them down a lot, and your ability to escape from an acid pool on the ground or, a potential pounce is really limited. So it's pretty cool. I've seen all sorts of... We're going to have Chris Ashton on talking about all of this in a little bit, but her development process has been really cool.
Yeah. And, I want to say we absolutely appreciate your patience and your excitement with getting this monster out to you here. So excited to finally be showing her off for the first time. And she can be in your hands on November 3rd.
Yeah, and for anybody who bought the PC Monster Race Edition, or if you bought the second season pass, it's gonna be out there. She'll be in your game, ready to load on Tuesday, right?
Yep. And I also saw another question about because in season 2 the hunters got the victory skins, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right.
So if you have season 2. For the monster, you will get the scarab skin for Gorgon, which is very
really
gorgeous.
Pretty.
Yeah,
it's really pretty. I think this is just the basic skin right now, so it's hard to see. Oh, and when he evolved.
So Corey being a basic bitch, I think they would say, right? He's actually being a pretty bad bitch against these guys right now. So far, not taking a lot of damage. So a little more love for Cash Bryant in the chat there. I know you love that one, Cash.
He did take that mimic ability when he staged up. So basically, when you see him sort of become stationary, and it's like a husk of his character right there, comes out, and basically he can run towards the hunters and detonate that at will.
Yeah.
Or it will detonate on its own after a certain period of time has elapsed. And it's a pretty cool ability. Chris was talking earlier about some different ways that you can use it because it does have a health pool.
Yeah.
So if you can see it from a long distance away as a hunter, you'll want to target that first so that you can kill it before it blows up on your team, because it'll do quite a lot of damage.
And they did that there. They learned from it the first time. The first time he was able to, and what I love about it is if you time it right, you can use it, and if the hunters are low enough in health, you can use it as a incapacitation nuke, really. You get it there, as he did the first time he engaged, and he saw that the hunter was like around half health or less, threw that mimic at the hunter and was able to bring him down immediately. The second time there, though, he tried to pop it up over the wall there, and they were ready for it, and they killed it before it could do any damage and before he could make it explode on them. So what I've been trying to do with Gorgon, with that ability, is what he's doing right here, is waiting to an opportune moment where you have a hunter potentially by themselves, and then get behind something so you're not in line of sight as well, because when you put the mimic out, you also stay stationary there.
Yeah, it went through quite a few iterations, but it does, you're kind of vulnerable, so if, it doesn't last that long, but you can still take damage with your normal body while that mimic is out there. And we have a question from Mark's Willem. We're gonna go with that. Can you use the mimic while hanging from a wall?
Yeah, you know what? We should
so.
actually direct that at Corey and have him attempt this during the game here.
Yeah,
I think
let's
is the
make
best
Corey
way.
do that. He's been doing a really good job, I think, of I don't know, someone's relaying messages to him as I talk about things, or he just is picking up on my ESP vibes. But
yeah, he's been showing off the kit very well.
So you can use all your other abilities, but you can't use Mimic while hanging from the wall.
And that's coming from Brill, so we know it's right.
Yeah, Brill, one of our extremely knowledgeable QA folks.
Yes.
And yeah, he knows all, so.
Very good question, though.
On that. Yeah, that is a good question.
Not something I tried when I was using Gorgon.
Yeah, I've played her once because Shane really messed up some people that we had in here. And I was like, oh, it's okay. I've never played her before, and I was able to give a pretty good game to some new people who'd never played before, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. They didn't know what they were doing. It was great.
Nice. You see, he drops the spider trap there in the little archway, because normally the way that hunters are chasing in this game is they're chasing those tracks if they're close, right? Because they don't want to lose you. Unless they're splitting off and they're trying to cut you off, they're chasing those tracks. So what he does is he finds a chokehold, goes through there, drops the spider trap down, and then moves on. And ideally for Gorgon, the hunters are going to follow through that arch there, and one of them is going to get trapped.
Yeah, and he put an acid pool down as well in that area, which forces them to either go up and over it, which burns their jetpack, or run through it and take damage.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. Definitely seeing how someone like Corey, who's a former competitive player, approaches this character. Binary Star has another question. Let's see, what does the Mimic look like from the hunter's point of view? Is it glowing like it is on the monster's point of view? Yes, it looks just the same.
Yeah, it does look
scarier because it's gonna hurt you.
It does. It looks like a big golden ghost coming at you, and you know it's gonna explode in your face and potentially drop you. So yeah, definitely terrifying, but does look the same, but from the other side. Of course.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Whereas with Wraith's decoy, it's supposed to actually make you believe it's the Wraith itself and not a decoy. So at first glance, unless you're shooting it, it just looks like Wraith. So with Gorgon, her Mimic is very distinctly different. So there's no confusing it for the actual monster.
Yeah.
And you can deal with it accordingly. TK Zombie asking about the how the wall stick works. I don't think it drains traversal while you're clinging there. It just uses up whichever traversal bar.
Yeah, so with Gorgon, it's not Behemoth, right? Behemoth's the only one that has the bar that is going to empty as you're using it.
Yeah, and you see there him getting the little red no symbol is that's not a climbable surface, and he can't stick to it. So just make sure that you're pointing to an area that you can actually stick.
Yeah, Gorgon has the 3 traversals there.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh God, can Gorgon go on the ceiling of caves? I think it's kind of trial and error in which surfaces she can cling to and which she can't. I think you see that little kind of web in the middle of the reticle showing when she kind of hovers over something, and that'll tell you if you can stick to it or not.
I think these questions are all amazing, but I think these questions would be best saved potentially for Chris.
Yeah,
right?
Probably.
So
Chris knows all of this stuff like the back
keep
of
the
his
questions coming, but let's bring them back when Chris is on here. We want the expert to be answering these questions because they're really good questions.
They are.
And they are very specific to this monster, of course.
Yeah, although I can answer the one about traversal from ZGGO, okay. Probably said, I'm terrible with screen names today.
Yeah.
But she always leaves tracks. All of our monsters always leave tracks unless they're sneaking. So when she's walking, you can see her little kind of pointy footprints. But when she's in the air, she leaves kind of like a slimy maggot trail kind of thing. It's
Nice.
Pretty gross. It's pretty gross. But yes, you can always track unless she's sneaking. So you gotta be able to keep an eye on this monster, especially with that traversal with the web sling. It's she can cover some pretty serious distance.
Corey finally taking a little damage here, but still managing to combo really well. Has a couple strikes on the hunters, just constantly putting down the acid spit and forcing them to maneuver through it. Another down, and it looked like on assault there. So definitely comboing these abilities very well. And you can see just putting that acid all over the battlefield there. Down goes Medic as well.
Yeah, who's on? I can't see name tags, but I don't know Whoever's on Trapper, I think it might be
Nikki.
Nikki.
Yeah. Jack pushing the monster back.
Yeah, it was Mad Cow, but I think we had a hot swap.
One more down. and definitely has an opportunity to finish here.
So whoever was playing the Trapper was doing an excellent job of really protecting his teammate, trying to push him off of the medic, which was extremely effective.
Nice.
And we got that beautiful victory screen there, Gorgon. And yeah, so good game.
Yeah.
Corey showing off his skills there.
Yeah, he did really well.
Good job, Corey.
Once again, in the house today at Turtle Rock, we have Mad Cow, we have Vern Notice, we have Ghost Robo, and we have Stealth Shampoo. They're on the sticks, or the mouse and keyboard, so to speak, today. And then Corey playing the monster there, showing how it's done.
Yeah, absolutely, and doing a good job of illustrating some of the. When you first see a monster, it's like, okay, these are their abilities. And you're like, this is what the monster does. But then as you kind of get familiar with it, you start going, oh, but like, I could cling from the ceiling and like put a spider trap down that'll deal with one of them, and then I can pounce another one and spray acid. And you kind of like, as you get more comfortable with it, you figure out how to sort of scheme or how to
and that's when you when you see
strategy.
the players doing that exactly, that's when you know that they're starting to push through to another level of gameplay. It's awesome.
For sure.
We're gonna bring Stealth Shampoo in here with me. Chloe, I think you might go play.
I get to go play. I'm so
Yes,
excited.
excellent.
And we have a video for you guys while we do that sexy little switch over. What do we have? Let's see. I can't remember. Oh, we have a Meteor Goliath video. That's cool.
Check it out.
We're gonna see that, and we'll be right back. He'll be right back with Stealth Shampoo.
Yeah,
Don't go anywhere.
All right, and we're back. That was Meteor Goliath. But we're here to talk about Gorgon today.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
That was pretty awesome fight against him. I actually hadn't fought against him yet. I was only playing him earlier in some solo offline matches. Real tricky to track. I was playing Trapper in that last game, and you got to watch out. He could be on ceilings or walls. Just very tricky locations that the Gorgon could stick himself in that you got to watch out for. Managed to get a stage 1 and stage 2 dome on him. Got a stage 1 dome, full armor. Got stage 2, no armor.
Yeah.
Was going in for the stage 3 right there, but noticed my team was too far behind and didn't want to risk the down penalty on myself as Jack, so I decided not to go for that one.
Okay.
And then we had that final fight, which was going pretty well until Mad Cow, his computer exploded. I'm putting that out right now.
It happens. Too hype.
Yeah, too hype right now in the Turtle Rock Studios.
We are showing off Gorgon today, and we have a couple other things up our sleeves as well that we haven't even talked to you about, so I'm very excited for that. I know everybody else here is as well. Thank you so much for joining us here for the live stream. We're going to be all Gorgon all day, and like I said, a couple other things in a little bit. We'll have Chris Ashton on the show, so if you have those very specific questions about the monster, please save those for when Chris is on, and we will have the monster expert answering those questions for you all about Gorgon. We're about to jump in another match here. It's going to be Gorgon, of course, against Mad Cow, Vern Notice, Chloe, and of course Ghost Robo as well. And my earpiece is hyped as well. He wants to go get in the game.
Yeah, shout out to my friends out there who are fighting against the Gorgon. I believe Chris Ashton's playing, or is it Insane? We were playing against Insane last round.
Yeah, you were playing against Insane, yeah. Insane was on the monster, and now Chris will be on the monster now. So we had the brawn, now we have the brains, and we'll see what the difference is here in the gameplay.
Insane was cheating. He had Brill helping him out. Not the brawn or the brains. Calling you out, Insane. Better perform in TGL. Anyway, hopping in here. What do we got for the picks? Of course, we got Gorgon showing him off. Kyra, Sunny, Maggie, and Hyde are going to be our picks. I told last round Vern to go Markov.
Okay.
Because I feel like with Gorgon flying around the map so much, she can basically Spider-Man string her way from one wall to the other.
Sure.
I decided, hey, Markov's slight extra range on the lightning gun may be a good idea. But they're going hide this round, possibly to zone Gorgon. Gorgon's got a lot of zoning potential, with that web that goes out with the acid.
Yeah.
Don't stand in that thing. I learned that very quickly. So they're going to try to zone Gorgon back with those snake nades, I think.
Chris on Monster, Mad Cow on Support, Ghost Robo on Medic, Vern will be on Hide, the Assault, and Chloe's going to be playing Trapper. And you mentioned Markov there. I also like it for the Spider Trap, because that Spider Trap, as soon as it engages with a hunter, it's going to try and run away from you. And a lot of times when you have a different Assault and you're trying to hit that shot, that panicked shot to get that that Spider Trap dead and your friend rescued, that Markov lightning gun is going to latch right on and help with that.
Yeah, that is absolutely top priority, is get your friends out of any, what is that ability officially called?
Spider Trap.
Spider Trap.
Yep.
Get them out of those immediately. We had our medic, Ghost Robo, who was stuck in one of those in the final fight. Mad Cow disconnected, and Markov, Vern, was too busy shooting at the monster, so I had to take it upon myself as the trapper to stop CCing and say, hey, he's trapped, shoot him out, and get my teammates back in the fight. Looks like we got a solid 3 meet right here. Notice Insane and Chris Ashton have been watching some competitive play. And last round they went with the standard Blitz Leper opening down the river, but right here he's going down to the beach. There's a couple meets right here.
What I love about the acid spit and how you can use it to feed and farm is that you can project it pretty far in front of you. So by the time you get to those meats, they're good and dead and ready to be consumed.
Yeah, and it does a little bit of damage over time. So if it just so happens to be a bigger elite wildlife that's not dead, then it will slowly melt away while you eat any other smaller snacks that are in the area. We have our opening set here with Gorgon, though. I don't actually know the official names of all these abilities, DB. So what do we have on left bumper and X?
Actually, Shaners, can you list them? Because they've actually changed a few times since I've been playing Gorgon.
Spider Trap, there's Acid. The Acid is on X, and the Web is on LB. And I find that immediately as they were telling me these abilities behind the scenes, that the Web combo with the Acid is deadly.
Yeah.
They slow them down. Hunters are slowed down. 50% less effective jetpacks when they're hit by that web. I believe there's a little bit of damage over time also.
It does, yeah.
Then you spit the acid on them, and that is an insane amount of damage. Couple that with the cloning ability, Mimic, I believe it is, and then go in with a Mimic while they're slowed and being burned by acid. That's a beautiful way to combo 3 abilities right off the bat. But you gotta get the same food for that.
Yeah, I believe it's Spider Trap, Mimic, Acid Spit, and I don't know what the exact word for the web is.
All right, we have a question here.
Yeah.
Real quick, do you want to address that? From Tom's Meat Platter, I recognize your name, sir.
Yeah, that's
question
great.
for Stealth Shampoo: does playing against Gorgon feel at all like the old Wraith? If you mean the Wraith from pre-patch, way back in the day when the game first came out, no, nothing will ever feel like that ever again. Gorgon, moving-wise, just walking around, not the fastest thing in the world. Traversals, he can stick up on walls, but not quite as fast as Wraith. I believe his health is somewhere between Goliaths, or Krakens, I should say, and Wraiths, and his movement isn't the fastest in the world, but he can do silly things like this, like stick on the walls to try to avoid hunters, and that's his extra mobility, rather than being able to warp blast and teleport across the map like a Wraith.
Web Snare is
Very
the
different.
official title.
Web Snare, all
Yep,
right.
Web Snare. Web Snare, Spider Trap, Acid Spit, and Mimic.
Yeah, those abilities. We do have a lot of CC on the Gorgon. Like I
Yeah.
said earlier, you have the Spider Trap, which is picking people up. The acid, you don't want to stand on that acid. Webs, if you get hit by it, you're slowed. Lots of CC on Gorgon. Of course, the Mimic is a really hard-hitting ability if it blows up right in your face. The Gorgon actually puts out a husk. It's sort of an exoskeleton, and it goes over and blows up hunters if they are shooting at it. Now that's a cool thing. You can counter it as the hunter. I know Gorgon seems really powerful, but it can be countered if you shoot at it a lot. Unlike Wraith's Decoy, you can actually get rid of it by doing a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, you can get rid of the what's coming at you, the Mimic that's coming at you. And also, as I mentioned before when I was talking to Chloe about it, the Gorgon is stationary. So that's another thing with the decoy from Wraith, you can move around, right, as the actual Wraith. But this here, Gorgon stays stationary, so if you can find the Gorgon when the Mimic is out there, you can also potentially do a lot of damage as she just sits there.
Yeah, of course. Tank players out there, perfect time to pull out that orbital barrage, stick it right on him as that Mimic is out there. and that would be devastating. Looks like Vern is in a little bit of trouble. He's being comboed right now inside of the spider trap and by the monster's melee. So unfortunately,
and some acid laid down as well.
Yeah, great comboing potential right there. Vern really CC'd away from his team, and was that a stage 1 down right there? Vern, shield throw, bro. They should be able to pick him up in a moment, though. I don't think Ashton has the staying power to continue in this fight, and he's going to have to back out. He's going to lose a lot of health, and that'll put him on the back pedal for stage 2.
A couple other things worth noting today. We do have another weekend challenge that will be coming up this weekend. It's a Behemoth challenge. It's the Behemoth Hellfire challenge. 40 million in damage with the lava bomb against hunters, and the Bloodrock skin will be yours if you don't have it already, of course. And then the skin everybody's been asking for. The Behemoth Gold skin can be yours if you, as a community, earn that 40 million in lava bomb damage this weekend. Go
nice
get
and
it.
shiny. You guys are going to want to go get that. Leave their details. I'm sure someone in the chat, some moderator, will post those details.
Yep, we got a blog
for you
up
guys.
for it. You can check it out.
We do have an evolution.
Yes, stage 2, he adds the mimic here. I'm excited to see how he uses it because as I've approached all of the monsters in this game, I kind of just play them how I think they're supposed to be played, and I do my thing. And if something doesn't work, I'm probably not going to do that again. And if something works well, I'm going to try it again until it doesn't work anymore. That's sort of the approach that I take. So with the mimic, when I first started using it, I noticed that it was getting destroyed before I could ever do anything with it. So what I would wait for is I would wait for an opportune moment when a hunter is sort of by themselves, maybe even has a little damage already, and then I would creep around the corner and then put the use the mimic and get that going around the corner, and then get it going as quickly as I can towards that one target, and then explode it on that target before they have time to react. So I'm interested to see how he uses it specifically.
I believe Chris Ashton told me that Mimic can't explode within the first 4 seconds, so you have a little bit of a health bar, and if that health bar depletes, you explode, or you can detonate it manually, but you can't detonate it for the first 2 seconds.
That's a very good point.
So what I had been trying to do was web acid and then Mimic detonate, but it won't let you combo it like that, so you really, really got to break line of sight and able to use it effectively, and don't use it as you're being shot at, similar to the Wraith's decoy. If you're using it while being shot at, the assault's just going to break it. But this is a good way to use it right here. Mimic coming out, using the traversal and going right on 2 hunters right there.
3 almost, Chloe. Yeah. He got 2 of them with damage. What he did there was he left tracks going into the caves, and then he turned around, he threw down the spider trap, hoping that they would follow him in there and one of them would get trapped. He realized that they weren't going to, so he came back out with the Mimic. Nice catch from them right there, though, to get him harpooned and start getting damage on him. They need to get that armor down. Otherwise, this is going to be a tough fight. You do have a spider trap on one of the hunters there. Medic trying to go in to get the res, and he is just going and comboing all of these abilities. He's got him very low.
Daisy might get the res. Nope, Daisy just got pulled off of it right there. Really close. We need some healing here. Vern's about to go down. Vern is out of the game. Kyra trying to patch one up. Did they lower the dome? Yeah, the trapper is down, so that is no dome online. Macau QQ is probably going to want to retreat at this point. They have no way to force the engagement without a trapper. Ghost Robo looking pretty low. He's in one trap. Ooh, that hurt. I felt that one way over here. They're sitting out there in the other room. I felt that from over here.
Yeah, worth mentioning, and we said this when you guys were playing for the first time, that not only is this your first time playing as the Gorgon, and you got to spend a little time playing as the Gorgon earlier, this is also everybody's first time here playing against the Gorgon as well. So definitely it's a learning process, learning what she brings, like where you don't want to stand, as you mentioned. You definitely don't want to stand in that acid. You definitely don't want to get caught by the spider if you can help it. You can kill the spider trap before it catches you. So that's definitely something you want to try and do. And if you can't, then you need to let your teammates know that you're in the trap and that they need to bust their ass to come get you out.
Ghost Robo, last one alive, isn't he? Oh no, I think we actually have Sunny up. Yep,
Sunny's up.
Sunny.
And Hyde's up as well.
And they got the reses. But no trapper, unfortunately. They're going to have to wait for the drop ship. So whenever Ashton wants to leave, he can. Using those traversals beautifully right there. You can use those to lash on the walls. I can hear Vern screaming outside. He is terrified right now. I'd be terrified.
He's trying to use that boost, but he kept getting pushed against the wall there. Looked like a cloak came in from Sunny to hide Vern and save him at the last. Oh no, he's dead.
Yeah, he's out. He had 2 down penalties. Vern is out of the game, and unfortunately,
I thought he got cloaked, but instead
Sunny's bailing out. So that little web icon that you see right there, if you hold shift on PC, that means when the web icon pops up that you can latch onto that wall in particular. Any wall that's climbable, and some walls that aren't climbable on the edges of the map, you can stick on to ambush hunters.
Yeah, super cool to drop the acid and the spider traps from up on the wall. A lot of fun to play and a lot of fun to watch as well.
All right, looks like we are going to have a redeploy. Shout out to Mad Cow QQ. He's holding it down. Fellow competitive player just chilling as support, waiting for his team to get back in action. Ashton is on stage 2, I believe. Did he hit stage 3?
No, not yet. Daisy doesn't make it to the dropship, so she's going to be out and unavailable for reses for a couple minutes. He's also getting a couple meets off her, and he is ready to stage up to stage 3 now.
All right, and we do have probably a stage 3 full armor Gorgon fight, unless Chloe, as the trapper, goes in and try to force an engagement right here. He's actually not evolving too far from them. But are they going to set up at the relay, or is Chloe going to try to go for the no armor stage 3 dome? Of course, her teammates have to be close behind her in order to get that. Here we go. Evolution is out. One thing I'm not sure you know this yet, is that the monsters now have 3 bars of armor after staging.
New.
Yeah.
Very new.
That's a new thing, though.
Yeah, and that is to answer the the comments from hunter players from
Monster players.
rather from the monster players that were getting that dome held on them and getting caught every time it's staging up and just getting melted. So it's going to give the monster an opportunity to get out of that situation and actually bring the fight to the hunters when it's more of an even match.
And speaking of bringing the fight to the hunters, this is not an even match. Ashton is stage 3 with about a little more than half a bar of health depleted.
Yeah.
Chloe's going to want to drop the dome in just a moment. Make sure.
Vern about to have another dropship trip as he's on 2 strikes and a sliver of health.
Yep. He's not getting any healing, unfortunately, and his shield is not even halfway recharged. So he's going to poke away at that minigun. Not a bad idea. You could force the Gorgon down with a stink nade, or at least do some damage with that. Vern's going to want to toss that up there in just a moment to try to force Ashton into a fight. It looks like we do have some webs going down. Ashton using his elevation to his advantage.
Great harpoon, though, keeping him off Chloe there. That is a great point as far as countering the Gorgon. Is you can definitely counter that mimic ability with a good harpoon there, as you can see. So there are definitely counters, hard counters even, to the Gorgon. And those, of course, they're not all going to come out here on day -4 or whatever it is, for Gorgon, showing off here for the first time. But those are going to come out over time, and there will definitely be some counters to her abilities, and then counters to those counters. I'm sure you guys are going to find.
It's all about the meta. People are saying, hey, this works. All right, title update came out, this now works, but people figure out to counter it with this. And people in Evolve are always trying to figure out the next thing to counter what's popular.
Back down to Mad Cow QQ again. Down as Sunny.
He's holding it down for his team right now. He's always the last one alive, twice in a row.
Full team coming back in, though, on the dropship right now. As long as he can stay up, he's going to have his team to help him out.
So he actually wanted that melee to connect because his shield would have gone on him and then shielded the explosion, but the melee, or maybe the shield was out of line of sight. We have another shield down right now. I'm sure Ashton's going to take that down. Well, he's going for a stealth pounce on Sunny. She is cloaked and out of there, though.
He does get the. That's another good way to use the acid is you have that shield.
Yeah.
You want to get that shield out of there, but you don't want to necessarily hang around and deal with it by scrapping with it. So you just throw some acid down, move on your way, and move on to the hunter.
Yep, a little bit of a choice to make there. And we do have the entire hunter team redeployed. Mad Cow still has no down penalties, while everyone else, I believe, has 2. I'm not sure if Hayden needs 1 or 2, but Ashton has got quite the advantage right now, and the hunter team's really going to have to start dealing some damage in order to take him down. So we do have a mimic coming out right here. Chloe's going to get hit by that one. Unfortunately, just did not get the jetpack boost in time. He could not back up. Ashton's really picking at him right now. It's a little bit different than Goliath. It's more melee based. I want to go in there, punch things, throw some rocks at people. While Gorgon, or at least the way Ashton is playing it, from a distance, using the webs, using the acid spray, throwing in the mimics. I'm sure he'll do one in just a moment, because it is off of cooldown. He is up here on this perch. What Chloe could have done right here when dropping the dome is domed it so that he couldn't go up on top of that building, and thus Ashton wouldn't be able to hit it from below. Vern's having a hard time getting damage here. They are just about to break the armor in a moment. And swinging away here. Vern going in now with the heat, but I think he does not have a shield ready. Oh, he does. He does have a shield off of cooldown, so he's going to pop that right about now. Ready to Sunny drone up and online from Mad Cow, and they might be able to take it back. It's going to be really rough. They have a huge deficit, but I think they can still take it back if the entire team gets some damage in there.
Yeah, good placement of the shield there, although it's going to be taken out by the spit now. You can see Kyra working her way around. It's Ghost Robo on the medic. She finally goes down as well. There's not a lot of safe places to work from here, which is going to be a huge, important part of playing against the Gorgon. As we know, positioning in this game is key to victory for the Hunters, and it's going to be, I think, even more so with the Gorgon, just because, as Stealth mentioned, so many CCs available.
Yep.
You want to stay away from the acid, you want to stay away from the spider trap, and of course you want to stay in a position where you can juke that Mimic or get away from that Mimic, or be able to take that Mimic out with damage before it can get to you.
What I was doing last round is I picked Jack to specifically repulse that Mimic.
You repulsed the Mimic and the Gorgon very well. Yeah, it was great stuff.
I knew he was going to be flying around. I wanted to irritate Insane just a little bit. He's a good bro of mine, so that's why I just like to mess with him a little bit as Jack. But here we go. We have about half health on this Gorgon, and it's Chloe the last one. No, Mad Cow is still alive. Mad Cow and Chloe are both alive. So Chloe might go down right here, but Mad Cow is really MVP in it right now. Super hard.
Chloe in the spit. Here comes the web. Oh man, the web snare gets blasted out and takes her down over time there. And once again, we're down to Mad Cow.
Yep, it looks like we may see either the relay destroyed or Mad Cow have to make an epic save here, because it is still 35 plus seconds for the dropship, not to mention the time it takes to get boots on the ground for the Hunters. And that relay's got about 40 seconds of health. Mad Cow, though, caught by a Blitzy.
Oh, no.
See it off screen. No, Mad Cow. Oh, the Blitzy
Monster
takes
wins.
it down. Hey, I'm going to give Mad Cow credit, though. He's last man alive 3 times.